Hong Kong's super wealthy cohort is set to grow by in excess of 22% in the next few years, driving greater demand for luxury homes. To discuss this, we have Knight Frank's Christine Lee and Martin Wong. Please share with us exactly what is happening with respect to Hong Kong's luxury residential transactions.
So recently, we have seen more luxury residential transactions to occur in Hong Kong. I mean, since the removal of all the cooling measures in February this year by the Hong Kong government, we have seen far more transactions than before. There are more demand from investors as well as from end users. So if you look at the numbers, we've got about 37 of transactions, which was over 10 million of US dollars in the first quarter of the year, seen that number to increase from 37 to 62. So which is a drastic drop if you consider from just Q1 to Q2. So I think it's just a response to what we have seen from the removal of the cooling measures, and then more investors are more interested in the market.
How is the rise of family offices shaping the luxury real estate market?
Well, we also see more family offices setting up in Hong Kong. So just looking at the family office number, we got about 2,700 of family offices currently setting up in Hong Kong. And then I think some of them, because of the kind of accommodation demand, so they moved to Hong Kong and then to find a nice accommodation, usually on the high-end side. So that will support the luxury residential segment, no matter in sales sectors as well as the leasing sectors. So we expect more family to set up the offices in Hong Kong. So there could be up to 2,900 by the end of this year. So which will further boost up the demand for luxury accommodation.
Mainland Chinese used to be significant buyers for properties in gateway markets. Are there any changes to their buying behaviors?
Yes, over the last couple of years, we do see some shift in terms of their preferences with regard to residential home buying, in particularly some of the gateway markets like Singapore, Australia, Japan. I think there are policy issues that have really muted the demand for Singapore luxury homes, because overseas buyers with no residential status will have to pay 60% additional buyer's stamp duty. So that has really dampened the demand for mainly Chinese buyers. And pre-pandemic, we were also observing a lot of the mainland Chinese buying holiday homes, for instance, in Thailand, in Malaysia. And that has also come down by quite a fair bit, I think, because of the property crisis currently in China that has affected the consumption and also the income levels of the middle class people. So they are also scaling back on some of these investments. But we continue to see a growing demand for gateway places like Australia, particularly Sydney, Melbourne, by the rich Chinese buyers, because they are also looking at sending their children overseas for further education. So those markets continue to see some resilience in terms of buying demand.
What's your outlook for the luxury residential and family office markets over the next 5 years?
Yes, it's an interesting trend because post-pandemic, there are signs that a lot of this wealth is actually reshuffling the region. In the past, they are always concentrated in the US, in UK, particularly London. But now we are also seeing the rise of a few super wealth hubs, like our series produced by Knight Frank. So the second series, we touch on Dubai. There's quite a lot of interest in the Middle Eastern market. And with the rise of the family office, I think the wealth theme continues to evolve, and there are interesting real estate allocations by these high net worth individuals around the world for diversification purpose. And sometimes it's also about mitigating risk in the midst of the geopolitical tensions between US and China.
Thank you both very much for sharing your insights, Christine and Martin.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for your time.
Again, our guests were Knight Frank's Christine Lee, Head of Research for Asia Pacific, and Martin Wong, Head of Research and Consultancy for Greater China. For more news, please visit realestateasia.com.